Hey guys, what's going on? This is Ben with Warhammer Fantasy. So I'm bringing you Battle Report number 2, round 2 of Buckeye battles. And I'm going yet again against Vampire Counts. Or Vampire Coven, sorry. So this one, thankfully, is a different build. Unfortunately, he still has Vampire Knights. So what he's got um, is a zombie dragon or vampire count on a zombie dragon with, let's see, he's got the divine icon, gemstone amulet, lucky shield, and ogre sword. Ancient blood power, crimson rage, and he's brotherhood of the dragon bloodline. He's a level 2 wizard with path of necromancy. He's also got I think his BSB, yep, is a vampire courtier with level 1 path of necromancy with a hardened shield, razor blade, talisman of greater shielding, and his mount is a monstrous revenant. If you guys know what that is. Up next is another vampire courtier who has the bloodline power eternal duelist. He's got plate armor shield, path of necromancy, brotherhood of the dragon bloodline, and he's got the dusk stone and the sword of strength, and he's mounted on a skeletal steed. Then he's got a bat swarm, dire wolves, 50 skeletons with champion and standard bearer, it looks like, and I believe they have shields. He's got 2 blocks of those, and there's his vampire knights over there, and his BSB is on the far right. So he's got 5 vampire knights with his hero inside of it. These guys have the holy icon. They have barding, plate armor, and shield. And then he's got his winged reapers. So that's what he's got. Mine is exactly the same, obviously. So I think for deployment, I deployed pretty much everything first. I think I deployed everything first. And this is how I deployed. And my spells, I see over there. The scenario for this one was to get a scoring unit into your opponent's base camp. And the base camp was starting from the center at a diagonal, there's A, B, C, and D. To get into the deployment zones, you have to get a unit with scoring capabilities, so anybody with a standard that's not fast cav, which is why I put my boar boys over here, and he put his vampire knights on the other side. Now, I deployed first because I wanted to take out that zombie dragon as quickly as possible. So my plan was shoot the Doom Diver at him, hit him at least once so it burns out his lucky shield, and then all he's got is his gemstone amulet to get him a 4-up. And I was hoping he'd fail that with the first one and take like 1 or 2, or well, what is it, 3 wounds at least, and then the second one could hit him and do 3 more wounds and kill him. So that's what my plan was. I put my fast cav on the side just because I wanted to be able to divert his skeletons away because there's so many of them. I wasn't really worried about much besides the vampire knights. So these are spells I got. Evil Eye, Atom Lads, Bashing Fists, Away No Dying, Stay Quiet and Fix It Up. To be honest, I wanted to get the Big Stomp. If I got the Big Stomp, I would have thrown that directly on those vampire knights and I could have killed the entire bit of vampire knights with 1 5-dice Big Stomp. But I didn't take a level 4, which I am pretty I need to take it at level 4. I have to. In order to compete in the Magic phase, I have to take a level 4 with the Book of Arcane Power and the Big Gods, because then I'll more than likely get the spells I want. And then I'm a level 2 and a level 1. But I've changed my list recently to include a level 4 with the Book of Arcane Power, and then my 2 level 2s of Little Gods. So, I think I moved up just a tad. Launch my Doom Diver. I get 1 wound. Because he used his Lucky Shield for the first one and the second one went through. This guy web launches them. They have to take dangerous terrains and they're -2 initiative. He web launches these guys. They have to take dangerous terrains and they're -3 initiative. And now it is on to his turn. So I move my boar boys all the way up and I got into his zone. So at some point in the game, you have to have a scoring unit there. So I got the 2 points for that. He charges him, I fail my terror check, and I run off the board. Oh no, no big deal. He goes to charge my wolf, which I'm fine with. That's like a box car. He fails. His zombie dragon fails, which means he can't use any of his magic. These guys get +1 strength and regeneration 5 up. And it is on to my turn 2. I charge my Gargantula into his BSB, hoping that I can get a Venomous Surge off. And hoping that he'll fail it, because he's only got like 3 wounds. I make it, thankfully. This next set, I just kind of... I chaffed up his Winged Reapers because I didn't want... And it's a 90-point Shaman, so I just put him there because I didn't want him to flank charge my Gargantula. I know they fly, but there's no room for them to charge. I didn't have much room to move my Nasher herd, or my Nasher Dashers, which I mistakenly put behind my Nasher herd, but I just tossed them right in front, and I put the Stay Quiet on them, so that if they do get charged, not only will he have to roll, because I'm going to throw the web launcher on him again, not only will he have to roll Dangerous Terrains 1, he'll have to roll Dangerous Terrain 2 in order to charge that unit. So over here, I just kind of throw up to make them chaff everything, really. First Splatterer at his dragon. Of course, to start off my shooting right, I get a hit, and I roll a 1 to wound. Second one misfires, and my Git Launcher misfires. And he turns around for... he can't fire next turn. The other one just got 1 wound, I think. I get 1 wound here. And I think I won combat. Or no, we pushed. It was a push because I didn't do any wounds to him. On his turn 2, he goes and he charges his Winged Reapers into my Nasher Dashers because I wasn't able to web launch them, but I did web launch the Knights. And he makes it, I think he makes it in with both, but he also declares a charge here. He gets my fast cap. I just kind of left him there because I wanted to get the flank charge on the skeletons. He charges his dogs into my Spider Riders. I don't think anything of consequence happened to the magic. He has no shooting. So he kills all but 2. They run. I think I did 1 wound to him. And he obliterated my dogs with his skeletons. Over here, my Nasher Dashers kill off 1 guy, and he kills off 4. I believe my Squig Herd went first before his Knights and killed him down to his champion. So I got the points for that. And I blew up and did 1 more wound to his Vampire Knights. I didn't do anything to his Winged Reaper, and I didn't do anything to my Gargantula. So I think my Nasher herd did damn good. Over here, got the Venomous Surge off, killed his BSB. And I didn't lose my Shaman. He overruns, gets into my deployment zone, so he gets the 2 points for that. I think that's it. Oh, it was my turn, so I guess I forgot to do the turn counter. Anyways, my turn to charge into my skeletons into, or my, not my skeletons, my orcs into the flank of the skeletons. I make it in, obviously, it wasn't that long of a charge. And reformed my Gargantula and my goblins, or both my Gargantulas, to face these knights. I want to crush these knights because I want to be able to kill him down to nothing so that he doesn't have anything in my deployment zone, so I can get more points. And then I would just kind of move my cave goblins, my cave goblins into his deployment zone, which is what I wanted to do, or my orcs. So, anyways, movements like such. I believe I think I fled from there. He shoots, and it veers off and hits my Gargantula. Does some wounds. My pictures are kind of sporadic, but I basically destroy this entire unit in one go. But he has like maybe a few guys left afterwards. Kills my Nasher Dasher. His turn 3. Charges his dude into the flank of my Gargantula, or he charges my wolf, and I flee with the wolf, and then he redirects into my Gargantula. These guys charge into the flank of my orcs, and my spiders I think are still on the table, and I think he charged his bat swarm and failed his bat swarm into my stone thrower, and he needed like a 4 to get in there. These guys charge into my Gargantula. They are -2 initiative, and they have to take dangerous terrains to get in there, but yeah, they blow up my Gargantula before he even gets to attack, I think. And he had no wounds on him. I don't know how it happened, but they killed him. So everybody passes the panic test, and he overruns. These guys reform and face the skeletons off. So he's got the parry rule now, so I can't hit him on anything but 4s. Goes my turn 4. I believe my Gargantula is going to kill that Ring Reaper over there. He's obviously going to destroy my Stone Thrower and overrun more than likely. He fails his check and runs off the board. I get the 5 aboard save and rerolling 1s in combat to wound. I get Hatred on this unit, and I think I just shot the Get Launcher of these guys just to kill them off. It was just one last huzzah because I didn't have anything else to shoot at. Killed over here. These guys, they're going to lose. He only killed 4 guys, and I killed like 15 or 20. He overruns into my Get Launcher. He's going to blow that up. These guys finally make it in here. He gets Curse of the Dead. Weird picture, sorry. Blows him up and overruns. Those guys, the Bat Swarm overruns and the dogs reform. My turn 5. Charge my orcs. I think I called out the Wog too to charge my orcs into the flank of his knights, and it failed. And it wasn't that long of a charge. I think I needed like maybe an 8 on 3 dice. So I think he has 1 wound because he marched because of the dangerous terrains. But because my Nasher Herd destroyed this entire unit, I get half points for it, and I get the points for the standard. He's going to get the 5 aboard. His turn 5, he charges my goblins. I just stood there. I could have fled, but he's going to get half points for him anyways. And they're only like 65 points, or 70 points that I had for him. And he moved his knights out of my deployment zone because we were both getting 5 points for it, for this entire scenario. He blows them up, and that's the end of the game. I think my magic was kind of okay during this round. It ended up being a 1913 at the end of it because when he did the scoring, he told me he was using 8th edition scoring by mistake. So I think he only gave me 25 points for each standard. So I went through his list and I was like, all right, so now I killed this, 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 this. I got the standards for all these. And came out. I think he scored me at 1884, and I scored it at 2274. So we figured it out, went back to the table, and rescored it with the front. So it all worked out, but he would have gotten more points. It would have been a much closer game if he wouldn't have moved his Vampire Knights out. Or no, he never. He actually no, he didn't have any. He didn't have a standard in there, so he wouldn't have gotten points for that anyways. Realistically, I should have pushed my orcs forward instead of trying to kill his Vampire Knights, because I wasn't thinking about this. That his Vampire Knights don't have a standard anymore. They only have the champion. So I should have just moved my orcs all the way into his deployment zone, and I would have gotten the 5 points, and he would have only gotten 2. So it would have been like a 19-11. But, it was a friendly game. Even though it's at a tournament, it was still a friendly game. I got 19 points out of it. So I was sitting pretty at 19, and I think 13 and 19. Had me contesting my buddy Gene, which is also an Orcs and Goblins player. I was trying to beat him during this tournament. But you'll see how that goes later on. Anyways, that was it. It was an Orcs and Goblins victory. A pretty good one. He only had like 3 units left, 2 of which were chaff. But it could have gone better with the shooting into his Vampire Knights if I would have killed them off very first. I probably could have dealt with the zombie dragon by just throwing my chaff in front of him to have him charge that, or he'd probably just fly over it. But in reality, I should have gone for his Vampire Knights first, because they're the only scoring unit on that side, and if I would have killed them off completely, then he would have only gotten 5 points. Basically, I would have gotten 25 out of it. But I wanted to kill that zombie dragon because I didn't want it to wreak havoc on the flank. I wasn't really too worried about the points because he's a cool guy. John Cocomelli, I think it was, and pretty cool guy. I'd definitely play him again. If I see him again at Buckeye Battles, if I go next year, then be pretty cool to see what he does next time. Alright, so that's it. I still got 2 more battle reports to put out. Probably gonna put them out in the next over the next week or so. So just keep an eye out. Alright, see you guys later.